across the guy that had his hair?
I don't know. I didn't ask.
Is it the one where they cut off part of his back hair and then they pull it out? Not the back, but, behind his head?
Yeah, they're taking that hair and then putting it up in the bald spot area.
So they're patching the back. I guess that's not bad.
Hair and then landing strips.
No, that's how you show your crow's nest or whatever. That's how you show strength.
So,
yeah, the point. Not unless, if it rolls back and it looks kind of funny.
I'm at 26 now.
Well, so you're asking how many pieces did they do? Because they charge you by. And, if you happen to get a guy's name. I don't know.
Oh, no. That's not for you.
One day, I
embrace it.
That, instead of rubbing charcoal on my head every day.
The charcoal works?
Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. How we doing today? Happy Thursday out there. Hope you're having a good day. All looks good. We're ready to roll here. Tonight, our class, Wine and Wealth. We're financial advisors, so we do a class every Thursday for clients. Just keep them up to date. What's going on? What can we do? And I've got a really, really cool one tonight. A whole checklist. It's actually 2 pages long. I'm going to go through it. Things that you can look at that maybe I should know about if something's changed in your life. This year, we're doing it this way. And as we go forward, I'm going to actually start working it into the dojo so I can pick on you for things that have changed in your life so that it doesn't have to be that, you're not sure, right? If any little thing changes, every time you log in, we'll be picking on you going, what's this, what's that? Maybe I'll need to call. Maybe we'll need to work something out. So tonight we're going to go through that checklist. That'll be at 8 o'clock over there in the speakeasy. Grab a drink, come hang out with me, and we'll cover that. If you're one of our clients, you just go into your portal, and it'll show a little red dot up at the top when we go live. And we built the whole thing there, so we're always working on tweaking things as well. We're also one of the only financial advisors that says we're just going to do things differently. We're not going to buy the third-party software that every other planners have and make you look at weird charts and stuff. We're just going to show you what you need to see. See all the good stuff, put it right in front of your face. All right, as far as the stock market goes today, same pattern, right? We don't have to spend a lot of time on this. The Fed's going to dominate the headlines until pretty much March, first couple weeks in March, or until the midterms take over, the commercials and all that great stuff I hope you're ready for. They basically said, hey, we don't necessarily need to get to the end of our bond purchases in order to start raising rates. We may start raising rates sooner than that. So that has everybody a little on edge. That was their meeting anyways. It came out yesterday. If you look at the stock market, that was just doing a little fun research. The response to the Fed minutes right there, that was the 4th worst response over the last 15 years. We can't go back much further than that because the Fed didn't usually publish a lot of this information. 94 is when they started getting more vocal about it. So anyways, you look back and that's what you have there is the 4th worst response. You pretty much have to go back to 2008 to find any worse performance to the releasing of the Fed minutes, which remember, it doesn't happen that day, right? They released the Fed minutes from a meeting they had a month ago. So it's just something they've already been talking about. Fun little thing for you if you want to look. Going forward, there you go. So that's not it. This is the one. So if you look forward, you say, well, let's look back 15 years. You've got from after the day that they released the minutes, the market responds however it does. What's the performance going forward? Does the stock market really like that? Is it good, bad, indifferent? What does it matter? If we look a week forward, average performance, kind of muted, 1.39%. And it doesn't get any better from there. The next 1 month and 3 months, really small, minor, minimal type performance, which you'd kind of expect from where we're at now, just because we're up so much. So not much to gain there. 6 months later, we have a slight decline, and a year later, we're back to normal. So if you're looking at yesterday and you go, whoa, okay, does that normally happen? When the Fed releases their minutes like that, is that a big deal? Because that was kind of a big deal yesterday. Holy cow, maybe that's something. Now you know. It's really just kind of a small, minimal forward performance in terms of average returns. Nonetheless, you got the S&P here back to the 50-day moving average today, and we followed the same theme, just not as bad. We talked about this yesterday with Salesforce. I'll zoom into today so you can see. We started off the day higher, real quick sell-off to get things going. Basically, the first part of the day was flat to slightly higher, and then look, it faded throughout the day, right? We just kind of faded lower and lower, although we didn't really finish much lower like we did yesterday. Nonetheless, it's that same pattern, which is why I say be careful if you're looking at stocks, maybe even like a Salesforce like we talked about. If they start opening higher, you know that the afternoon has had that selling pressure, and that's exactly what happened in Salesforce today. You can look at the same thing there. You go to the start of the day, just like the market, not much going on. Then what? Start selling off towards the end of the day, so no need to rush into something like a Salesforce or anything that looks extended like that. We talked about that yesterday, of course. If you look at the NASDAQ, there you go. Continues to be pretty weak here. It's down now an average of 1% a day since the start of the year, down about 4% since hitting that high there. If you look through the NASDAQ, well, on the downside, you've got a lot of names you probably would expect, the tech growth type names there. Walgreens had earnings come out. That's the reason for that one there. Netflix continues to be lower. Also, I would say arguably extended. Maybe something to look at there. Tesla pulling back a little bit as well as it has been. And if you look towards the top of the list, there's some good news actually. The Chinese stocks actually started moving higher. Here's Pinduoduo. I'm not saying they're a buy, but they started coming off the lows once again, tempting people to guess that that's the bottom. JD.com was another one, and Baidu. Actually, Baidu had about a 5% gain on the day. Peloton, for a change, actually had a positive day. It is still beaten down, way out of favor. Nothing to get too excited about. And I'll also mention Lucid. Broke down under these lows, got a bunch of stop orders that took place, washing all those stop orders out and then finishing the day positive by about 4%. What was it, PayPal? PayPal also had a good day, but just kind of flat. And some of the semiconductors, KLA-10 core is probably one of the better looking semiconductors at the moment in terms of just the technical pattern, the lack of a pullback as the semiconductors did over the last couple of days. You could use the SMH to take a look at that. See the pullback there? KLA-10 core over the last 3 days just hasn't done the same thing. Do they call themselves that still? Yeah, KLA-10 core. Okay. Still the same name. If you're looking through the Dow today, where's my Dow? There you go. So in the Dow, the good stuff today is going to be the boring stocks. Got Travelers Insurance trying to break out, right? Almost there, trying to break above those highs, looking pretty good. JP Morgan's another one. Financials did okay today, and the boring traditional names like Caterpillar continue to get all the excitement. The weakness to the downside, United Healthcare. What a pullback, huh? Now, United in the Dow is due to Humana having their earnings. Fascinating. We'll cover that here in just a little bit. But you had that pullback. Oil was up 2% on the day, continuing to get stronger. Oil prices, gas prices all still heading higher. And gold refuses to be any kind of an inflation play at this point. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to pull back there as well. It's at the bottom of like a 6-month range here, and the Bitcoin market continues to fall relative to the others. You might hear a lot of talk of the market cap of Bitcoin relative to the others that are out there. And think of it like this. Bitcoin is seen as the safer play of all of them. It's fun to maybe go play with the other coins or whatever you do. But until there's any chaos over there, you wouldn't expect Bitcoin to get any attention. Once there's chaos in some of those other weird coins, then people would likely say, okay, I want to stay with crypto, but I'll run back to Bitcoin. And that's likely what's going to cause a low if there ever is a low. Or there will be, but you know what I mean. Ark Innovation, so the Ark fund there getting a lot of attention because hit a kind of an interesting point. So the breakdown yesterday and continuation today makes it to where you'd have been better off just investing in the NASDAQ since the start of the virus. They had a big start. Remember that? When this was all the rage there? This guy right in here. We get into the virus. Everybody's looking at this fund. It was killing it, doing really well, but now the pullback going on 50% or just over 50% makes it that it's only beating the S&P by about 5% at the moment, which is not the goal, by the way. They don't want to beat the S&P. That's not their attraction there. And it's losing to the NASDAQ 100 to the tune of 17%. So a little tough one there. And to put that into perspective, by the way, the Ark fund was beating the NASDAQ by 117% at its highs. So that gives you an idea of how far it's fallen, right? That's pretty impressive there. And the NASDAQ's been pretty weak as well. One thing I'll point out, if you ever look at the IPO, I don't like IPOs myself, but IPO, ticker symbol, is it's just a ETF that invests in IPOs, kind of like an IPO index in a way, but you could participate if you want. And what I want to show here is pullbacks off of highs. So if we go over here, here's a quick look at just rating every high at 0 and then saying how far have we pulled back off of any high that it's made. Well, we're currently 31% off of highs there, which is kind of extended. It doesn't do that often, right? Look at how many times we've seen in the last 10 years pullbacks from a high of this magnitude, right? So it gives you an idea of, or really puts into perspective the types of stocks that have gone public. We now can just guess. If you had no idea and you've been watching the show for the last 3 days, you could now just guess that the IPOs that went public over the last couple years are likely high growth, low to no earnings, and probably losing a lot of money because that's what's getting sold. And that continues to be the case. So now is just a visual way to show it here. And if you want, you could actually say, well, hey, we're 31%. Did I do that? Here, I did this in the research site. You can do this if you want. Is it a buy or is it not? Is it extended down here and worthwhile? Well, what I did is I went to the research site, went to rolling search. You can join the research site if you want, jazzwealth.com/research. Otherwise, if you're a client, it's free. You just have it there. But I searched for IPO, losing more than 25% in a 3-month period, because that's how long it's been. I went back 15 years, and we found out that that does happen a couple times, and the average return is quite positive, right? The extended declines in the IPO ETF, the ticker, actually result in buying opportunities. So you can look forward. Now, this forward-looking tool is looking 3 months. So whatever you input here, it will automatically look forward that much. So 3 months later, the average gain 34% positive every single time. And here are all the different times that that's happened. So this is to prove that we're showing a loss of 25% or more. This is what happened before that loss. And this is what happened 3 months after that loss with the dates and everything, so you know. You can also send it now to a new forward lookup tool, and you could say, I'm willing to invest for a year. So you could say, I don't really care about the day. I don't care about a week later, a month later, or whatever. I just want to see if it's a good investment for the next year. And actually, I don't know if this will work, but let's get rid of all this stuff here. And let's just do it again. But we'll do only 1 year, so it's nice and clean. Average return 1 year later, there you go. You've got it all in there, percent of time positive. And you, some of these numbers that aren't showing up at the moment, that we know that. We're working on that one there. They're there. We're just not posting them there, so you can't tell what that is. But you can see the data there and actually look forward now in some of that research portal if you want to do that sort of thing. But I just want to point out this is an odd pullback, right? So anytime you see something happen in a stock, you go, is that odd? And if it is odd, do I want to know about it? Do I want to do something with it? Or do I want to just walk away and call it a day? Okay, new highs and lows for the day, so we can get ready for our class here tonight. There were 28 new highs, 2 new lows on the day. Twitter was one of the new lows. Twitter, there you go. Did close positive, right? Yeah, 0.25% gain on the day, but officially making a new low. Humana would be the other one making a new low. I thought that was odd. Used the research tool and said, I'm going to sell the 340 puts on that one, so I'll keep you posted on how things go there, of course, because, well, that's odd, right? Just the fun trades. We are not active traders here, just in our own fun time. We like to do little trades while we're watching the market, and so I did that one there. Also, starting hopefully in February, we will be doing this live, right? So we'll be able to just show you, I'm going to do that trade. Here's what it is. Here's what I'm looking at. And here's the actual trade, whether you see the position, see the P&L, you just follow along, because it always frustrates me that there are traders out there and they never show, they're like, oh, I made a profit. Well, let's see it. Right? Oh, I got into this trade. Well, how much did you buy? Right? Are you making a lot of money? You losing a lot of money? I just want to show that. So while we teach, of course, because we're going to put that in the research site. Well, Humana, by the way, I got sidetracked there. So Humana was talking about COVID. They came out basically and said, ooh, that's going to be a problem for us. The price just reset to what everybody thinks it's going to be. So this decline here, you think, everything that was going to happen based on the new projected valuation of the stock happened today. Basically, Wall Street said it's worth $367, not a penny more at the moment. And so you don't expect this to fall apart to the same degree tomorrow. I guess they could say something new, but that's not normal. So the price has just been reset. And because of that, that took down a lot of your where am I going here? That took down a lot of your healthcare stocks today. sector as a whole pulling back to the 50-day moving average. Moving on. So with the new highs and lows today, you also have ExxonMobil. That's going to be energy related. Anything energy related had a pretty good day, so there's not much else to say there. That momentum continues. Chubb, just wanted to point out that looked like a little breakout there. A lot of times we get ideas, short-term ideas from the new highs and lows list, so I try to point them out when I can. So that's a new high and a fresh breakout after a series of higher lows. See that there? Very, very cool. Technical traders like to look for that stuff. And Zion Bank, I would argue, I don't know why I said that. I would say is one of the stronger of the banks, broke out to new highs. It's well past breaking out of its downtrend here, like a Wells Fargo and the Bank of America, things we talked about. This has already moved to new highs, so regional banks definitely perking up just a little bit. Stocks in the news today. JP Morgan is one of them, up 1% on the day. JP Morgan says they've made it clear that they're not going to go for the high flyers this year. They're going to be going for the stocks that can generate earnings. What does that mean? That's their way of saying what we've been saying for 3 days now, that they're going for the traditional companies that just go out, make a buck, come back home, and it's a boring end of the day. Honeywell, Caterpillar. Can you tell me what Honeywell does besides air thermostats, right? So they just do their thing. They have great market share, consistent profits. That's what JP Morgan says. We're not interested in the high flyers this year, and they've already started adjusting. You've got Bed Bath & Beyond. They came in with earnings. Earnings season's getting started, right? So we'll start talking about that more next week. But 8% gain on the day. They said earnings came in a little bit weaker than expected. They did lower guidance going forward and talked about the changes they're making to the next quarter. And I don't know. I mean, it wasn't like a great earnings report. So my assumption here is it's already been fairly priced. And basically people said, okay, we know that this is as bad as it is. Maybe it's worth sticking around and buying it. I don't know. Humana, of course, in the news. We already talked about that as well. Costco, that was their store sales. They talk about this every now and then, and well, once a month actually. 11.5 increase in their December store sales, and the stock was basically flat. That's a new one for Costco. Maybe Costco is getting a little overpriced here because usually they report their store sales and they get a nice little bump there. It was not the case this go around. What else do we have? We have Humana on there twice. That's my fault. Walgreens reported earnings as well. There you go. And Walgreens wasn't known for being one that was an easy one to pick on for earnings, so I didn't make a big deal out of it. All across the board. Beat on earnings, beat on revenue. Just a good earnings report. And that's pretty much it. Oh, Starbucks. I did a strangle on Starbucks. 105, 120 strangle on this one just to play outside of the range. Volatility is just a little bit higher than normal because the range is wider. It's not like one of these little tight ranges here. So sold the 105 puts, sold the 120 puts. That's called a strangle. And we'll see what happens. So I'll keep you posted on that as well. I'll do my thing, try to answer your questions here. Otherwise, we'll get ready for our class tonight. Looking forward to it. Going to try something a little different. Don't be afraid to try something different, you know. You can get it wrong. Just be a little bit different there. All right. Humana with the kitchen sink report there. A little bit. They were giving you the heads up as far as what issues they were going to have related to COVID. That's not the first time they've done that, but this one they actually came out with it and were pretty much honest there. Yep. Think of all the elective surgeries, all that stuff that they weren't able to bill for. Yep. You don't like the Fed getting in the way. Oh, you want to go to a trade in another country. Yeah. Yeah, Kirk buys monthly the same amount every time. Awesome. A little dollar cost averaging there. Yep. Honeywell with their airplane parts. Yep. Oh, yeah. There's a lot going. We have one down, engineering facility down the road, so know a lot of people that work there. Oh, yeah. PNC, not a traditional breakout since there's only one prior high at this level. Right. Well, a breakout you would need a series of higher low or a series of equal highs. So that's the fast way to say it there. You will see people say breakout as a reference to it has hit new high prices, but that's not technically what you would consider a breakout. Here is what technical traders look at. Series of equal highs and you break above it. That's the more traditional definition. But the term is sometimes interchangeable. Yeah. Got your position there. Okay. you like it. You know, buy some more on weakness there. I wonder why out of all of them, right? Why are you choosing them? CRISPR hits new lows. It did new lows today. Yeah, you like this. You feel like this is your price right in here. Let's see. Your local Starbucks randomly closes. That could be. Maybe they can't get workers. Hasn't happened a lot around here. We've had stores and restaurants close every now and then, just small restaurants, but not much of that. Yeah. Well, the question is, what do you think of coin here? Got an upgrade better than others. Coin is right there with Bitcoin. So it's your proxy, right? Not perfect, but correlation to Bitcoin, that's where you're looking. So if you can't buy Bitcoin, but you want to participate, everybody looks at coin. So we'll see. I have no real opinion on Bitcoin as far as where it's at right here. Tough one. You want to short Royal Caribbean? So I don't like the idea of playing virus-related names due to the virus. If you're looking forward and you're saying, okay, these are my assumptions going forward with all the debt and garbage that they've had to do to get through this, I think they raised it too, by the way. They're up to $1 billion now in new debt, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere. They were at 500 or 700 million. Yeah, they were at 700 million, and now they're at $1 billion. They need more money, extra 300 million. That's the big deal there. No, so in other words, I wouldn't buy or sell it based on how just the headlines in here. I don't like this. It's like a biotech stock right now. 3 cruises, all of a sudden COVID's an issue and they had to bring the cruises home and the stock falls apart, which you would want, I guess, but I don't like that. That's it. Oh, if I can restrain myself, won't be investing this year. They call it sit on the hands. SOH. Sit on your hands and just watch. Yeah. Semiconductors, if anything, is going to be the one that helps out and holds up tech there. Yeah, because that doesn't go away anytime soon. You could even have a pretty substantial decline in demand, and you'd still have a shortage that they're working through there. So, yep. KRE, yeah, regional banks there, doing better, outperforming. MU looks like ready to go once the market pressure on the NASDAQ subsides. I don't know what that means. MU is already going. So it's a little extended here in the short term. So if there is more, think about what's happened. The NASDAQ's pulled back and Micron hasn't. So going sideways is acceptable. You can already see the relative strength there, but do you want to chase it? If it starts going, what do you expect, right? That's sort of buying when things are a little hot there. Yeah. Thoughts on NEO? We haven't looked at that in a while. There you go. You bought it at 36. It's one of those Chinese stocks, unfortunately, that's just, what do you do? There's no, every time you think it's a bottom, it's false. It fakes you out. So I don't like that. I tend to get a little grumpy and say, well, fine. You show me you're going to bottom first. I'll come back later. Yep. Well, I would hate to be in the cruise line business right now. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yep. $1 billion in debt. No, well, it's not a big deal for them. Yeah. Wine and Wealth tonight. That's right. 8 o'clock in the speakeasy there. Got some cool stuff. Yeah, right. Yeah, you get an email where you send a financial spreadsheet for your review. So I don't review spreadsheets that people make because I have to trust that you've presented everything correctly. We either use Nest Egg for that, or I've actually made a spreadsheet for the trading side of the community to log their trades and stuff that I know, okay, if you send me back data, I know it's going to be accurate. And a lot of clients do that. That's actually pretty cool. But I have a hard time dissecting existing spreadsheets because then I got to figure out, did you do the formulas correctly, and is there any mistakes inside of here before we get to the actual fun stuff? Yeah. All the Chinese stocks today. Yeah, I see the post there. Alibaba trying to wake up. I hope, you know what I mean? I'm with you guys on this one. I can't say I've pulled the trigger yet to add more. We have a very small position on this one. Got lucky on our sale last year. But I'd like to add back. I mean, I see it. There's your discount, right? I hear you. What do we have here? Did I catch everything? So position-wise, yeah, the Humana and Starbucks. So I've got Broadcom, Adobe, Salesforce, Humana, Starbucks. I think I said Starbucks already. And that'll do. I will wish you a great rest of your day there. Sorry for that. See you later. If you're one of our clients, I'll be ready. What are we drinking tonight, huh? Maybe some Diplomatico. Join you there. Or it's Wine and Wealth. I know. We should change the name. All right. Have a good day. We'll see you later.